You're listening to Style as Identity.
Yes, we're your hosts. I'm Frankie Ikwuazom.
And I'm Lola Catero. So, is starting a brand on your vision board?
Or do you just love fashion and want us to talk nerdy to you?
Either way, we got you.
Join us as we get into aspects of the trade that you might not find online. We're uncovering truths from the founders and designers daring to build within their vision and values.
These brands, they're shifting our understanding of the style status quo. And the more time we spend with them, the more we expect from what we wear and the brands that sell them.
So, we're glad you're here.
Let's do this.
Today, we have the honor of sitting with Michael Graham, fashion designer and founder, and so much more. I'll let you tell us the rest, of Savant Studios. Savant Studios is based in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Some would say the heart of Brooklyn here in New York, and is locally rooted and locally representative. If you walk around New York for long enough, you will see someone or some savant being rocked by somebody, whether it's the well-known trucker hat or something else. It is truly a beloved, proudly claimed part of the city's expression. They feel like family heirlooms. So we love that Savant Studio is adeptly named because Mike taught himself the craft of sewing and design by doing. So we're going to get down to it and learn as much behind the scenes as we can about Savant Studios and keep spreading the good word. Hey, Mike.
Hey.
Hey.
Thanks. I was going to say thanks. Good to have you, but you're having us. We're in your store.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You.
I had my tea.
You got your tea. You all might hear our second guest here, the beautiful sounds of Brooklyn. So besides being in the physical manifestation of Savant, being in the retail store, I noticed your eloquent intro did not put the brand in a box, did not define it. You didn't put Mike or Savant Studios in a box. I know that was intentional because, like Michael, you don't do limitations. You sell trucker hats and paintings, leather flags and artisanal vests. Like, let's go. You don't do a bunch of pop-ups. You call it going on tour. And I want to know, what is Savant Studios and what isn't it?
What is Savant Studios is it's an idea, it's a practice, it's an exploration, it's a curiosity, and it's a platform. It's a platform in that we have been building something that allows everybody who's connected and around this whole thing to create, to launch off from, to gain opportunities and exposure. And so we do that through design, first and foremost, right? It's just design. Good design matters to so many different parts of our experience here, like as people. Mm-hmm. And I just appreciate good design, and that's what got us here. So yeah, it starts with design. Savant Studios is a design studio, and then we're a brand, right? And then we're a creative hub in New York, and we've grown to be an inspiration for other creatives with our storytelling or our visuals or just our aesthetic or how we do what we do. I get calls and I meet people. People fly in to come visit, just to say thanks. We appreciate you. Bring gifts, ask questions, all of that stuff. And it's just like, oh, okay, cool. Savant Studios is a robust thing. It's more than just a clothing brand, but it is a clothing brand. But yeah, I would say that we start off as a design studio. Because we want to touch all sorts of other things, not just apparel.
The way you're describing it almost feels like the ownership is everyone's. We called it a platform. It's an idea. It's a design studio. I think the difference between that and just being a brand is oftentimes when people interact with the brand, they're like, oh, this is someone else's and I'm just a customer. But the way you're describing Savant Studios is collective ownership, kind of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And people, what's great about this whole thing is that people have that experience without me voicing that to them, because that's our heart. Our heart is that this is all of us. This is, I know my role. I look at this like the X-Men.
Yeah.
You know, it's each person.
Nerd alert.
But yeah. I got it right. Once you said that, I said, that's it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, nerd alert.
Nerd alert.
No, and that's what it is. We just like talented nerds who like fly stuff and who care about people. That's kind of the gist of this whole thing. That right there. And it's like, you know, I just know my role, and I'm a facilitator. And then other people come in and they contribute how they contribute. It's great.
Something that we noticed right away, and I know we're in the store. The space. I don't even want to call it a store. We're in the space.
The environment.
Yeah, the environment, the studio.
The smells,
we're in the studio.
the tastes.
Exactly. You're from Brooklyn.
Yes.
You live in Brooklyn. Not to give away your details. The space is in Brooklyn, and so you know you. If we have this right, like when you first started, were you in Kentucky? Was that ever a thing?
I was in Kentucky, but I didn't start this in Kentucky.
You didn't start this
but I did open a shop in Kentucky.
You did open a shop?
Was that grapes?
Okay.
Grapes?
It was, you know what it was? So when I started doing clothing, I started a brand called Grapes, and that was in 2005.
That's what I'm thinking of.
And then I started Savant in 2007. And, you know, there's been different iterations, and I'm not traditionally trained in all of this stuff. I never studied art or design or fashion. I just was doing stuff. And when I opened the shop in Kentucky, that was like about 2015, I think. And when I opened that, we had both Grapes and Savant in it. So it was funny because it's like, oh, there's these two brands in this store.
You Gemini?
But no, I'm a miracle.
The opposite of a Gemini.
Oh, shoot. Shade to the Geminis.
What is your sign?
A miracle.
We're not going to get it out of
No.
I can live with that. We'll have to guess.
Probably an Aquarius like me.
Yeah. I love an Aquarius.
But it was called Work Plus Shop.
Work
it
Plus
was
Shop.
Work Plus Shop. And I was never interested in traditional retail. I never wanted to open a store.
Why not?
It just didn't seem like what I needed to be doing, right? Like I like to move around, and I like to be curious, and I do like to plant roots and stay put. But what if this idea grows into something different? Now I have this store that I want to be faithful to, and I want it to be a constant, and I want it to be a store. But what if I want to close it for 3 months and go write a book? You know what I'm saying? And so I just never wanted to be to be locked in to disappoint people who are being served through that space. And then when we opened up Workshop, it was like we were doing a different thing. It wasn't a shop. It wasn't just a store. It was this creative hub, and it was like a place where all of these college students came to experiment and try things and learn things, and we had workshops all the time. And so it was a constant workshop. So we were working. That's why it was Work Plus Shop. We worked in there. We were a studio just creating, getting busy. You can buy things. But it wasn't in the traditional sense of we have salesmen and things like that. It was like we didn't sell anything, but everything was for sale.
You've said before that you want the brand to be able to live on without you, to exist without you. And so hearing you say that, it's like, oh, you have this curious mind, but by building a shop in this in this way that you have, enables you to have it live without you while you go write that book.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
I like that.
And then all of the people that are involved, they got the vision.
Yeah.
And they can,
like the people right next to us making shirts right here.
Exactly. And so they can do it.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about.
You talked about the space also serving people. So let's talk about, we can talk about Sunday vibes, but also more, because you still have that, right? Yes. So you also talked about being rooted, like establishing roots. What's interesting is you are establishing roots, but you're also spreading those roots, because you're rooted here, but you're also like creating connections amongst all the other people who are rooted here. And so you have that weekly meetup. It's for creatives, Black creatives, local creatives, called Sunday Vibes, and it's here in the store. Is this kind of work plus shop part two? Like, what were you, when you first opened this, what made you think this can't just be a retail store? And then also, like, what do you hope that those kinds of meetups are for people?
My hope for those things is really straightforward. I hope people catch the spark that they need, because the spark, it can mean everything for somebody. If we just keep on setting that tone and creating that atmosphere and serving people, because we do this out of our back pocket also. Like, we don't have sponsors, nobody pays. We pay for this every week, and we feed people, and we supply things and space, and we bring special guests in from time to time, and it's great. And it's like, it's just important. It's just important. I know what the spark can do. And so it's a matter of consistency, and we just keep doing it and keep on opening our arms and doors and hearts, and the right person at the right time will catch their spark and go on and do something wonderful.
I need to go to these.
Yeah, it has me thinking about what I've never gotten a spark from being on Instagram.
Let's talk about that. Say more.
Yeah.
Do I need to?
Right.
Yeah. No, you don't.
And that's why, see, that right there is why Sunday Vibes is so important.
Yeah.
Because what we have in our culture right now is a lot of weird stuff.
Weird. And more distance.
We're not okay.
I feel like we seem more connected than ever, but are we?
But are we? And we didn't make this.
No, someone else did.
People made it for us, right? Inspiration is a real, like, commodity to me, right? And I think about, like, in fashion and design, I'm like, I'm a romantic, man. It's hard for me to connect to.
Oh, we're a dying breed.
Yeah, we really are. It's hard for me to connect to a creative who I don't like resonate with, or not just want to be like, but like I feel some kind of kindred vibe with, right? Like, you make dope clothes, but you're a corny person. I don't really care about your clothes anymore.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because back in the day, a poet was somebody that, it was more than just writing poetry. Like, they lived this certain lifestyle, and it was like this, it was fly. And it was like, hello, I am a poet.
You just want to wear the scarf.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we are engaging with all sorts of stuff made by people that we never want to be like right now. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are engaging with things that came out of their mind, and we're looking at their life and lifestyle and saying, we hate that. Yet we're consuming the thing that they served us. That's a weird thing.
I mean, even as I was talking to my sisters about this, but she was like, it's crazy how much of my time I spend using things where I'm the product. And when she said that, I was like, no, don't say, but it's true. Like you said they're serving it to us, but they're not serving us.
They're not serving
which is
us.
two very different things.
They're serving it to us.
Well, and then I think we'd say companies, like, oh, the company did that. But there's the people there made those decisions, right? It's not faceless, right? There are people actively culpable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For people that do see you and aspire to be like you, have brands like you. Let's talk about product, starting with the trucker hat. I mean, that thing has a life of its own, right? You may have a brand, you might be a person, but that trucker hat has a social security number. Brands fantasize about having a cult classic and commercially viable piece like this. But also, a piece like this it's not representative of all that you are as Savant. Can you walk us through a little bit the birth, life, and the reincarnations of this trucker hat, and also like simultaneously taking a moment to counter it with pieces like your leather goods that you hand select the leather every other month in Mexico with?
Yeah.
Very different product.
Very different product. Like, extremely different product. What's great about the trucker hat is that in doing what we do, I always made sure to have like different entry points, because I am a collector. I enjoy shopping, like if it were an art form. I like going on a
Yes.
I like going on a hunt. I'll get on a plane and fly to a different country
We
for
have
an
both
experience.
done that.
It's like, no, don't ship that to me. I'll be there and I'll pick that up. And that's how I am. And so I want to kind of curate that for other people and people who engage with our brand. And so we have different entry points. We have a trucker that's only $50, right? There's certain people who have 15 of them, right? I got all these different colors. Oh, this one I went swimming, and so I got another one. I lost this one. Some girl came to my house. She stole that. I was at a bar, and somebody grabbed it off the chair. Like, people steal these things, too. So there's that, and then there's the artisanal leather stuff, right? And there's a lot in between. But the trucker hat serves as almost a point of contact for other things. There's some folks who don't even wear trucker hats. It's just like, I just need it. It means something. At this point, it means something, which is cool. And that happened from the people. We didn't do that. The people did that.
Well, and thank God, because at the event I went to on Sunday with you, I could not find it. I was walking around Oculus, and then I saw someone in the Savant hat, and I was like, oh, where are you going? Like, where are
Oh my
we
gosh,
going?
not it being a map.
Yeah. Oh, it is interesting. Those two, you have a lot of products, but those two are kind of, you would think on other ends of the spectrum, but it is so cohesive. And I think the through line is both have narratives, and you can see that they have narratives and that storytelling comes through.
Yeah. The thing that I like about style, right, like versus fashion or whatever, like with style, the individual gets to like tell their story and how they express themselves. And so it's like, if I want to wear a trucker hat with a tuxedo, I can do that.
You can.
I did that at my cousin's wedding, and it was a hit. So instead of somebody going across town and getting something high and then going over there and getting something low and mixing it, you can come here and get
all of those.
and do all of that under one roof.
Obviously, before we do these, we like stalk the person we're speaking to just out of admiration and respect, but also
was that you outside my house this morning?
It's not stalking if I admit I did it. For anyone listening, it is stalking if you admit you did it. It's not the story for the kids, but you said a couple things. One was, you said that you're bringing Brooklyn to the world and the world to Brooklyn. I think you said that on the Today Show, and I'm going to bring up another thing you said in a minute, but it's funny, living in the city, also being from here, I'm sure you're used to this narrative of like, you see a store open up, a specific store open up, and the face of the neighborhood is about to change. Like, those are just the realities of gentrification, especially in Brooklyn, where we are right now. And as someone who, I also grew up here, not in Brooklyn, but I hate that story that like, if something is nice and new, that it can't be for the people who already live there. Right. It's got to be for someone else. And you did say, this is the other thing you said, that people walk in here and they're like, oh, this is like Soho. And you're like, no, it's Brooklyn. Yeah. So, clearly so much of what you love about Brooklyn is manifested into this place. And so we'd love to hear like, what are aspects of it that still inspire you every day? Like, I'm sure the people is one of them. And then also, like, what advice do you have for people who are like trying to build capital from within, like where they started, and might find it quite hard or even discouraging?
Ooh, that's a loaded one.
Yeah. And, feel free to get political. We're not scared. But also, I think it's an important question because something that another reason we do this, we talk to everyone is like, it is hard to do what you do, and very few people get to do it for as long as they want to do it. Mm-hmm. And then it's even harder to do it in a place where you're like, to not try to change anything about yourself to make it work. Right. So that's what we're trying to figure out. Like, anything related to that, because I'm sure there are people trying to do the same thing.
There's a scripture or there's an idea from the Bible that talks about like a prophet is not welcome in his own town, paraphrase, right? There's a truth to that, a hard truth, because you want it to work where you're from, but sometimes familiarity only breeds contempt. And so people feel a way about you because they're like, wait, I should be doing that. Why? Who does he think he is doing that from here? If I was from Paris, there would be no problem, Oh, this Parisian guy showed up and did this thing. People would respect it more because they're like, oh, but it's like, wait, he's from where I'm from? The gall of him. Who gave him this audacity to think that he can do this type of thing here? Well, we all can do this type of thing here. For me, it's just a natural reflex, actually. This is what I know. I'm not doing something outside of myself. This is what I know. I am inspired by the people here. I'm inspired more so by the experiences here, right? All of the people that I come into contact with and how we engage and exchange, that stuff like informs me. I learn about myself. I learn about the world. I learn about my city. And that stuff finds its way directly into the designs and into how we present and the type of events that we have. We have people in like on a daily basis that will never buy anything from this store, but they are an integral part of what goes on here. And I love that because we're not fashion. That's that's the other part of Savant. We're not really fashion. We're in the fashion world, but we're in it, but we're not of it type of thing. Like we encourage people. We're not trying to like step on people and make people feel bad because they can't afford this or wear this, or they're not, oh, you're not wearing the Row, you're not wearing Louis Vuitton, you're not wearing these Celine boots. Like, so what's up? What you thinking about? Where you been? How you feeling? So that's more important, right? And so fashion likes to, or my experiences with fashion is like, people like to look down on people and make people feel lesser than if they don't have certain status, hit certain status points or whatever, or wearing a certain thing. And it's like, if you are fly, like if you're actually fly, if you're a fly individual, then getting fly is easy. And we got a guy who comes in here, he doesn't know anything about any of this. He's not even in his right mind most of the time, but he's a fly dude. And I love it. I love it.
Can't be taught. I'm going to take a hard pivot because we're going to do a little game.
Okay.
For starters, okay, your products, they are filled with meaning, but everyone go to savantvision.com. You will find one sick video, but like the least messaging and copy ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
I was floored.
It's, yeah.
Ever.
Your campaigns, they seem to less get the word out in mass and more get the word out to those that it's meant for. So let's do a little back and forth. I'm going to share a marketing channel, and you're going to say if you're currently doing it or not, like yes or no. Okay.
No.
No across the no. None of the above.
Celebrity gifting.
No.
Paid social ads.
No.
Discounts, sales.
No.
PR?
Nope.
Are you in large retailers in real life? Physical?
No.
Boutique retailers?
Sprinkled.
Sprinkle. Online retailers?
No.
So we've got D2C and a sprinkling of boutique.
Sprinkle.
That's it. No more questions.
Yeah. we'll do a sale once a year, just for fun. You know, there's a thing that I really don't like. We call it the struggle rapper, right? Like, a struggle rapper is a rapper who, you know, they just can't quite make it, and all of their tactics of like promotion and advertising and even distribution, it all feels like they're struggling. Like, they don't feel, you know what I'm saying? And it's like
thirsty.
I have good friends who did this. So this is not just if anyone's listening, I'm not saying you're a struggle rapper, but when you say that, I think of people who are like forcing their mixtape on people.
That's a struggle rapper.
You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Yeah. The thing is to not be a struggle rapper, even if you are a struggle rapper, right? Like, if the money gets low, don't let it be seen, because that will affect how you market from that point moving forward. So if you are Hermes and the money is low, you could have a sale and catch a quick lick, but that will mess up your legacy forever, right? If you set the tone of we won't ever do that, we won't be in an outlet, we won't go on sale, we are luxury and we are this, and we have this sort of sentiment with our product, and we want people to engage in it this way. They've struggled, but you never felt it from them, right? So even when the money got low, they stayed standing where they were positioned. And so that's what I'm talking about, right? Where we don't want to take the struggle rapper approach. So we don't do sales because, we need some capital. No, we do sales because we want to say thank you to the people who rock with us.
I love that a lot. And what you described earlier around how you'll take a trip to go and get something, I feel like in a coaching way, you're inspiring other people to do that whenever they get anything from Savant, because you're like, take a trip, come. You're not going to find us in a big retailer.
Mm-hmm.
Come.
You might not even find it on our website.
You might, exactly.
And
so come and get the experience.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
I see you.
1463 Fulton Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He might make you tea. Come down.
The tea is delicious.
Come down, check it out. Mike, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. This
Mike.
is great.
Hey everybody, Lola here. Thanks for listening. Style as Identity is part of the Majority Group, which is focused on spotlighting and supporting the brands that make us feel seen. In addition to this podcast, we offer business and strategy advice to brands, have an investment arm, and more. Basically, we want to see you win and do what we can to make it happen. For more info on us, head to themajoritygroup.com. Love ya.